The biblical creation story, centered around the iconic figures of Adam and Eve, has long captivated the human imagination. While many view this narrative as a literal historical account, there is a compelling case to be made for interpreting it through a mythological lens. By delving into the mythological background and exploring the interconnected narratives, we can evaluate whether this tale of Adam and Eve is best understood as historical fact or symbolic mythology. The story of Adam and Eve, as depicted in the book of Genesis in the Hebrew Bible, bears striking resemblances to earlier Sumerian myths from the ancient civilization of Mesopotamia. This civilization thrived from 4000 to 2000 BCE in what is modern-day southern Iraq. Let's consider a couple of Sumerian stories that bear resemblance to the Adam and Eve narrative. The well-known Mesopotamian epic predates the biblical account of Adam and Eve. In the epic, a character named Enkidu, fashioned by the gods to be a wild man, becomes civilized through knowledge and relationships. This theme mirrors Adam and Eve's acquisition of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. This Mesopotamian myth predates the biblical account and tells of gods creating humans to serve them, only to be followed by human disobedience and a subsequent flood to cleanse the world. Notably, the myth of Adam and Eve also features creation, disobedience, and a consequential expulsion from a paradisiacal setting. Scholars often emphasize that religious texts must be understood within their cultural and historical contexts. The Adam and Eve narrative is embedded within the ancient Near Eastern milieu, where myths and archetypes like those in the Sumerian tradition were prevalent. This cultural resonance suggests that the story might have been shaped by the literary conventions and cultural norms of its time. A growing consensus among scholars views Adam and Eve as symbolic figures rather than historical individuals. This interpretation hinges on several factors. Advances in evolutionary biology and paleontology have yielded evidence that contradicts a literal interpretation of a single human pair as the progenitors of humanity. Evolution suggests that humans evolved over an extended period rather than springing from a single pair. Some scholars argue that the story of Adam and Eve is a narrative meant to convey moral lessons and theological concepts rather than historical facts. They see these figures as archetypes embodying universal human experiences. Careful examination of the biblical texts reveals elements of symbolism, repetition, and variations in different accounts of creation within the Bible. This complexity suggests that the story is more intricate than a straightforward historical record. The connections between the Adam and Eve narrative and Sumerian mythology are intriguing. The Sumerian goddess Ninhursag is linked to fertility, childbirth, and the creation of humanity from clay. This parallels the biblical account of Adam's creation from the earth, Adam meaning ground in Hebrew. Enki, god, associated with wisdom and agriculture, shares similarities with the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Both provide knowledge, whether through agriculture or the consumption of the forbidden fruit. Nindi, a Sumerian goddess, is associated with healing and life-giving. Her connection to the Hebrew word for woman, Isha, aligns with Eve's role as the mother of all living. Linguistic connections between Sumerian and Hebrew words hint at influences. Nindi's epithet as Lady of the Rib possibly influenced the depiction of Eve's creation from Adam's rib. The names of Adam and Eve themselves serve as symbolic touchstones. Adam, derived from the Hebrew word for earth, underscores his connection to the material realm. Eve, deriving from the Hebrew word for life, encapsulates the essence of vitality. These names point to their roles as archetypal figures embodying fundamental human experiences rather than historical persons. The serpent, beguiling character in the Garden of Eden, draws parallels with the Mesopotamian figure Ningish Zida. This serpentine deity, associated with knowledge and fertility, might have inspired the biblical serpent's role in tempting Adam and Eve with divine wisdom. The interplay between these two narratives showcases how mythological motifs transcended cultural boundaries. While the direct origins and influences remain subjects of scholarly discourse, it's clear that the Adam and Eve story is enmeshed within a rich tapestry of mythological and cultural narratives. These influences enrich our understanding of the narrative's complex layers and help us appreciate the intricate interplay between myth, theology, and ancient texts. As we journey through the mythological tapestry woven into the Adam and Eve story, it becomes evident that this narrative transcends the confines of historical fact. The influences from Mesopotamian myths, the symbolic names of the characters, and the intertextual connections all point to a tale that carries profound symbolic weight. The enduring relevance of this narrative lies not in its literal historical accuracy, but in its capacity to explore the timeless themes of human existence, morality, and our intricate relationship with the world around us. In embracing the mythological dimensions, we uncover a deeper appreciation for the intricate narrative threads that have shaped human understanding for millennia.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.